thank you for watching this week's NDP Live video announcements. From my house to yours, I'm Noah Lederer, and I'll be your anchor today. I'm very excited to be here because I finally get to show you my at-home vlog. Bennett and Juju did inspire me, but we'll get back to that later on. But first, let's dive into some news that we're very excited to talk about at NDP. Starting next week, construction officially starts on the St. Catherine of Bologna Performing Arts Center. Due to the fact that we don't have classes in session on campus, the projected completion date should hopefully be a little bit sooner than expected. Please note the entire parking area between the gym and the cafeteria will be closed off. Watch for a lot of activity going on if you drive by. We can't wait to see this beautiful structure once it's completed. Next week, all PE students are invited and encouraged to come to campus to clean out their lockers. This is for students only, no parents. Students should bring a bag for their items, locker combination, and they must practice social distancing. Students will reserve a 10-minute time slot on either April 20th, 21st, 22nd, or 23rd between the hours of 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Just go to ndpsaints.org to reserve your appointment time slot. Attention all NDP parents. Notre Dame's Communications Department wants to hear more from you. If you have a child that deserves a shout out for something they've recently achieved, we want to hear about it. Did your student earn a special scholarship or an award? Did they do something that helped their community? Anything at all, send your news to Miss Hobb at khobb@ndpsaints.org. Switching gears now. Many students at Notre Dame should know about or have at least heard of senior capstones. It's an opportunity for seniors to reflect on their personal growth over the 4 years being an NDP student. That also includes the 3 R's: reverence, respect, and responsibility. Due to COVID-19 and distance learning, this year's senior capstone projects are not required. However, one NDP senior still wanted to show the entire NDP community her commitment to finishing her capstone project. That student is Ellie Doherty.
Hi, I'm Ellie Doherty, and for my senior capstone presentation, I made a website. This is the front page. I just have a picture of me skydiving, and then I have some of my titles of what I am and what I did as an NDP student. And then I have a little slideshow below. And up at the top, for some of the little tabs, under the Who I Am tab, I have freshman year, and throughout all the years, I talk about how I changed. Freshman year, I just cover how I didn't really know many people going in, and how I had a brother at Notre Dame. And then sophomore year was pretty much the easiest year for me. It was really, I had a lot more freedom, and I was pretty stress-free. Started my first job as well. Junior year, this was when I started really getting involved in the school. It was the first year of house, and I became way less shy, but it was also a very filled year for me with all the college prep starting, SAT and ACT, and I had even more freedom this year. And then finally, senior year, I was a house captain at Notre Dame, so I was pretty involved. I looked for every opportunity I could to be a leader, and I got good grades all around. Lots of things were changing, but I was very comfortable this year in who I was and who I wanted to be. For the virtues, I go through all the virtues. Reverence, I talk about how I'm a practicing Catholic and I have some good morals. In the respect, I talk about how I have had a lot of experience with all sorts of different people at Notre Dame. And for responsibility, I learned how to be very responsible going into the future from Notre Dame. And my house virtue was sacrificial. So being a sacrificial NDP grad, to me, I have a lot of experience in community service, and I have participated in lots of drives and helped others throughout Notre Dame. And for personal growth, I am different as a Notre Dame grad because I have the religious aspect under my belt and leadership experience. I have a lot of community service experience as well, and since it's a smaller school, there's very strong alum. My transition, I have gained confidence, become more involved, know what I want and deserve, and I have been able to find goals in life. For my future, looking forward, I'm going to college. I will be attending University of San Diego in the fall. I'm going to be going to business school, getting internships, getting a good job when I graduate, and definitely keeping up with Notre Dame. and I'm the newest NDP alum. I'm going to be going to reunions, events, following their social media, and being in touch with the class of 2020. Thank you.
Ellie, thank you so much for joining us today. So we all want to know, what inspired you to still go through and finish your senior capstone even though you weren't required to?
I would say, well, I have 3 older siblings that went to Notre Dame, so I've always known about the senior capstone project. So it wasn't something that I just was introduced to randomly. And I've always kind of been looking forward to doing it because I personally love presenting. So I was really excited to get in front of teachers and present for our last senior thing. So I did it way ahead of time. So I had it done way before the virus thing even hit. So it's been done for a while.
Yeah.
So I loved doing it.
You chose a really creative way to represent your growth at NDP over the past 4 years. Do you want to share with us how the website idea came to mind?
Yeah. I actually have done websites for a lot of projects because I thought it was really creative, and I found an easy way to do it on that Weebly app. And it's pretty simple to do, and it comes out really well. It turns out pretty good, I think. So yeah, and I thought I was pretty creative and would be a good way to present.
How long did it take you to design it and from start to finish your capstone?
I would say I worked on it for 2 days, but total probably of diligently working probably a few hours, maybe 4 hours. But it was really easy to think of because we got a rubric that had everything laid out pretty easily, and it was easy to follow and figure out. And since it was a self-reflection, it was really easy to finish.
So if there was one thing you took away from this project, what would it be?
I would say it's pretty obvious, but just how much I've grown throughout high school, and the difference. If you look through the project, you can see at first I was super, super shy and was not involved, and now as a senior I'm very involved in the school. And it's just interesting to go through not only freshman to senior year, but freshman to sophomore year, and sophomore to junior year, and all the little changes, and how I grew, and how the school even changed me, and how the school changed. And it was just a cool way to reflect, even looking at how much I've changed physically, and I don't know, everything. It was just fun to look at.
Yeah. So are there any words of advice you'd like to share with all NDP students, especially the current juniors like me, who will have to begin thinking about their senior capstones next year?
Yeah, I would say to not really stress about it. It was, like I said earlier, it's really a reflection on yourself. So it's not super hard unless you have a hard time reflecting on yourself. But for me, at least, it was pretty easy to do so because it's all personal. So it wasn't very hard to do. Just make sure you do it in time and start thinking of your ideas soon enough so you can really think of something creative and do something that you're really proud of. And don't go into your presentation unprepared, even though I didn't have to present it, but I'm sure that's probably a little bit scary. So just practice, I would say.
Well, your story is definitely inspiring, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors and as you move on to college. Hey guys, welcome to my day in the life video. I am going to just show you around kind of what I'm doing during quarantine to keep myself busy. Right now it's 11 a.m. and I am heading to the golf course just to hit some balls at the range, get some practice in. I had a math test this morning. Hopefully that went well. And yeah, I'll check back in when I get to the golf course. Alright, so you guys just watched me hit a bet. I head home, take a shower, start doing work, start getting interviews done for this this video announcement. So I'll see you when I get home. You'll find another life to live. I swear that you'll get over it. Lost touch so long ago. You lost weight, I did not know you would ever look so nice after so much time. Nothing from nothing means nothing. You gotta have something if you wanna be with me. Don't you know you can change your hair and you can change your mind. That love is fine, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. So I just finished editing the day in the life video, and I'm not a professional or anything, but I hope it comes out decent. And the rest of the day I'm just gonna do my homework, do some meetings, and after that just find something to keep me entertained and keep me staying happy and positive. So I hope you guys are staying safe, and thank you for watching. It's now time for our most favorite segment of the week, Teacher of the Week. That's right, Saints. We're recognizing an NDP teacher this week who is taking her teaching ability to the next level during this time of distance learning. The special teacher we're recognizing is Miss Brooke Bales.
Ms. Bales, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about your distance learning experience from a faculty perspective. Can you talk to us a little bit about how it's going for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going really well, as good as it probably can go for the situation that we're in. I definitely miss my students so much, but I'm super proud of how they've adapted, and I think they're doing really well.
All right, so you're being recognized by many at Notre Dame for your out-of-the-box thinking and making your classes engaging and successful. Can you give us some examples or tips on how you've been able to achieve this?
Yeah, to be honest, I really do think it's been a community effort. When I went to Notre Dame, it kind of felt like the same thing. Whenever something happened, the whole community came together, and I think it's really unique to our school. And it definitely feels the same now being a teacher. When we decided that we needed to go online, everyone came together, started sharing best practices, and it was kind of like a community thing of, well, what are you using for videos, or what have you used in the past? How are you keeping your kids organized? So I think it came down to just the supportive community that I'm in, and then being able to take those ideas and implement them successfully for my courses and specifically for my students.
All right. So what have been your biggest obstacles so far while working from home?
I think at first it was probably reminding kids that they need to even open their email or check their email. But they seem to be doing really great with that. I think now it wouldn't even be called an obstacle. I think we all just, miss seeing our students. But we're finding different ways to stay connected through, sharing pictures as a class or just video conferencing.
All right. So what advice would you give teachers and students who are still trying to learn to adapt to this new distance learning system?
Yeah, so for students, I would say share ideas just how we share ideas. Obviously, it's going to be different, but if you're struggling, you could ask your peers, what time are you waking up, or how are you keeping yourself organized? It's the same thing that we're doing, it's just in a different aspect. And then I'd also say, just remembering that everyone's human. We understand that you guys might be going through something where you're also in charge of helping your younger siblings get their work done or get organized, and that's a lot to balance on top of your own work. And then likely, you might have a teacher, I'm not in that instance, but you might have a teacher who's trying to create videos for you while balancing a baby on their lap, or taking care of an elderly family member at home. So everyone's kind of working through stuff right now and just trying to make the best of it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you think is important that is worth noting, or?
I would just say that we miss you. We're so proud of you and how well you've adapted, and we love you guys so much.
Before we go, we want to give a big shout out to NDP Live founder and alum, Andrew Davis, class of 2017. He just accepted a firefighter job in North Carolina. NDP is super proud of you, Andrew. We'll be praying for you. Have fun out there and be safe. Well, there you have it, Saints. Thank you for checking in and watching NDP Live video announcements. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay positive, stay healthy, stay smart, stay holy, Saints. Have a good one. Bye.